daughter of a pure river. Once upon a time, in the peaceful village of Ihoma, there was a beautiful princess named Ijoma. She was called the daughter of the pure river because her heart was pure as the clear waters that flow through the village. Ijoma was loved by all for her kindness, her gentle spirit, and her unwavering dedication to the village of Ihoma. Every day, she walked through the village, helping the elderly, playing with children, and bringing comfort to those in need. In the same village lived a young man named Okereke. He was simple villager, known his handwork and kindness despite his poverty. Okereke had lost his parents when he was very young and had been raised by his uncle Ibe, a man feared throughout the village for his curiosity. Ibe was a hunter who cares little for human life, setting trap not just for animals but also for anyone unfortunate enough to cross his path. Despite growing up under the shadow of his wicked uncle, Okereke was different. He had a kind heart and was always ready to help others. The villagers admired him, and also the princess Ijoma. Over time, Ijoma and Okereke become close friends, and as they spent more time together, their friendship blossomed into love. Whenever their love was kept a secret for the both, knowing that their king, Ijoma fathers, would not easily approve of their union, giving Okereke humble background. One day, Uncle Abe noticed how often Okereke spent time with their princess. Realizing that his nephew had fallen in love with her, Ibe greedily mind catch a plan. He wanted the princess to marry his son Izu, a man as wicked as his father. This marriage would make Ibe powerful as his son would become the future king of Ihoma. Determined to remove Okereke from the picture, Uncle Ibe approached the king. "Your Majesty," he began with a deceitful smile, "my son Izu is strong, brave, and comes from the respectful family. He will make a perfect husband for Princess Ijoma." The king, who cared deeply for his daughter's happiness, was struggled. "I will consider your proposal, Ibe," he said, but when the king mentioned this to Ijoma, she immediately refused. "Father, I do not love Izu," she said firmly. "My heart belongs to someone else." The king was surprised. "Who is this person you love?" he asked. Ijoma hesitated, knowing that revealing Okereke's name might cause trouble, but she knew she had to be honest and love Okereke. The kind and gentle young man from our village," she finally confessed. The king frowned. "Okereke is a good man, but he is not of noble birth. He does not have the wealth or status to be your husband." Uncle Ibe, overhearing the conversation, was furious. He couldn't believe that the princess had chosen his poor nephew over his own son. He decided to take matters to his own hand and set a trial for Okereke in the forest. In the next morning, Uncle Ibe called Okereke and pretended to be kind. "Okereke," he said with a fake smile, "I need your help today. There is a special herb deep in the forest that I need for medicine. Can you go and find it for me? Okereke trusted his uncle and wanted to be helpful. I agreed without hesitation. He set off into the forest, unaware of the danger that awaited him. Meanwhile, Princess Ijoma groans anxious. She couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong, so she decided to visit Baba, then the wise elder of the village. When Ijoma told Baba about her love for Okereke, the old man smiled gently, but when she mentioned that Okereke had gone into the forest that her uncle requested, Baba's expression became seriously. Ijoma, he said, I fear that Okereke is in great danger. Your uncle is a wicked man, and I believe he has set a trap for Okereke. Ijoma had raised with fears. She thanked Baba and rushed back to the palace, gathering a few royal guards to accompany her into the forest. As they searched the dense wood, Ijoma called out Okereke's name. Her voice shot through the trees. Okereke, Okereke, where are you? She cried. But there was no answer. Just as hope began to fade, one of the guards noticed a freshly dug hole covered with leaves and branches. Your Highness, over here, he shouted. Ijoma ran to the spot and looked down into the pit, where she saw Okereke lying at the bottom, injured but alive. Okereke, she cried, relief washing over her. The guardian quickly lowered a rope into the pit and helped Okereke climb out. Despite his injury, Okereke managed to stand, and Ijoma hugged him tight. I'm so glad you are safe. She swiped, her voice trembling, but their relief was short-lived. Just as they were about to leave, Uncle Ibe appeared, his face twins with anger. What are you doing here? Ijoma, he snarled. You should be at the palace, not wandering in the forest. Ijoma still holding Okereke's hand, glaring at her uncle. And knowing what you have done, Uncle Ibe, you set this trap to harm Okereke because you don't want us to be together, but your wickedness will not succeed. Uncle Ibe's eyes darkened with fears. You are a foolish girl, Ijoma. Okereke is nothing. He is poor and cannot offer you the life you deserve. Ijoma stood her ground, her voice firm. I do not care about wealth, Uncle. I care about love, kindness, and a pure heart. Okereke has all of this, and that is why I love him. I realized that his plans had failed and that the princess will not change her mind. Uncle Ibe turned into leaf. This is not over. He melted under his breath as he disappeared into the forest. Back in the village, the king was furious when he learned of Ibe's treachery. He immediately ordered Uncle Ibe and Izu to leave Ihoma and never return with them again. The village returned to peace, but the king still had to decide what to do about Okereke and Ijoma and Okereke. One evening, the king called Okereke in the palace. Okereke, the king, said, "You have to show the great courage and love for my daughter, but being a prince requires more than just a kind heart. You must have the strength, wisdom, and ability to lead." Okereke nodded respectful. "Your Majesty, I understand. I will do whatever it takes to prove my word of princess," Ijoma laughed. The king looked at Okereke with a mix of pride and concern. "If you truly love my daughter, you must leave this village and seek the wisdom and strength you need to be a leader. There is a place behind the mountain called the Land of Wisdom. Many who wish to lead have gone there to learn. Go, Okereke, and return when you are ready." Although it pained him to leave Ijoma, Okereke knew he had to prove himself. The next morning, he set out on his journey, promises Ijoma that he will return to her. The journey was long and difficult, filled with danger and challenge. Okereke faced wild animals, treacherous paths, and harsh weather, but he never lost hope. He kept Ijoma's love in his heart, which gave him the strength to continue. After many weeks, Okereke finally reached the Land of Wisdom. There, he met wise teachers who taught him the art of leadership, the importance of justice, and the value of humility. Okereke studied diligently, learning everything he could. He also made friends with other young men and women who had come to learn, and together they shared their knowledge and experience. Months passed, and Okereke became stronger and wiser. His teachers were experienced. This has dedication and kind heart. One day, the chief teacher called Okereke to his side. "Okereke," he said, "you have learned much. I have proved yourself to be a true leader. Now it is time for you to return to your village, feel your destiny." The chief teacher handed Okereke a beautiful grave staff and some symbol of his journey and the wisdom he had gained. With a gratitude, Okereke thanked his teacher and began the journey back to Ihoma. As Okereke approached the village, he was filled with mixture of excitement and he wondered what had happened while he was away. Would the king accept him now? Had Ijoma been saved all this time? Okereke's heart raced as he neared the village, hungry to see Ijoma again. When he finally arrived, the villagers greeted him warmly. They could see that Okereke had changed. He stood taller, his eyes were filled with confidence. He carried the staff with pride. Word quickly spread that Okereke had returned, and soon the king summoned him to the palace. As Okereke entered the palace, he saw Ijoma standing beside his father. Her eyes lit up with joy, and when she saw him, and Okereke felt his heart swollen with happiness. The king too noticed the change in Okereke and nodded approvingly. Okereke, the king began, "You have returned from your journey. Tell me what you have learned." Okereke respectfully bowed and spoke with confidence. "Your Majesty, I have learned that true leadership is not just about strength and power, but about kindness and justice." Thank you guys for watching. I hope you really learned a lot. I hope this story is nice for you. Please kindly subscribe and hit the bell. Have a sweet day. Wait for another sweet story. Thank you.